Okay, now ready.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Blazers Uprise Postgame show. The Blazers choked today, and we're going to be going in on what exactly happened down the stretch there, because the Blazers just dropped what was a must-win game in their chase for the 8th seed. The Memphis Grizzlies won yesterday, and the Blazers lost today, and they did it against a bench lineup consisting of Terrence Mann, Landry Shamet, Patrick Patterson, Rodney McGruder. I don't even remember who the other guy was who was in with them, but just an awful JaMychal Green. Just an awful Clippers lineup. And what happened down the stretch was some typical Terry Stotts bullshit, in my opinion. And I just got to start off this stream by going straight in on that. So, Blazers went up 108-103 with about 5 minutes left or so, 6 minutes left. A Gary Trent 3 put them up, and then they struggled the rest of the way. And basically what I saw was just stagnant offense and no ball movement, no player movement. The Clippers started trapping, and the Blazers didn't really try and exploit that. And just a horrible offensive attack down the stretch. And this is a problem down the stretch when teams start trapping and when we have a lead. It's why we blow leads a lot of times, in second halves. And just sitting on the ball and just being super stagnant. And this has always been a problem with Terry Stotts. And that was part of the problem down the stretch, and then the other part of the problem was we switched constantly, and this was a problem all game. Our defense was terrible all game. We kept switching, and the Clippers kept exploiting mismatches all game long. Instead of running different schemes, instead of maybe throwing a hedge out there, instead of maybe trying to throw a trap out there, instead of switching things up like that, for the most part, we were just switching and getting ourselves into mismatches. You had a bucket by Patrick Patterson down the stretch to tie the game where he had good position on C.J. McCollum, and he got an and one because C.J. fouled him. Why was C.J. on Patrick Patterson? Because we switched. So those were the two main problems down the stretch. What did you think were the main problems down the stretch there, Eric?
Well, I mean, it was pretty much the whole second half. So we had 18 assists and scored 75 points in the first half. We have 6 assists and score only 42 points in the second half. And that's completely 100% on the offense being stagnant. The ball stopped moving as much as it did. We were making all the right passes in the first half of this game. We're getting penetration. We were passing off that penetration instead of taking tough shots. And we were getting any bucket we wanted in this game. And then all of a sudden in the second half, we just stopped doing any of that and just started just not playing. And I mean, a little bit of that is, we were shooting incredibly in the first half. That's impossible to continue, but you still want to put yourself in a position to get those easy shots you were getting the entire game. So we just completely, this is the most frustrating thing about Coach Stotts. We have proof. How many times do you have to see when we make more than a couple passes in throughout the offense, it works. We almost always get a good shot, like almost always. And we have a half where we play beautiful basketball on offense. And then we just go away from that and don't do the same things we did in the first half. I was going to give Stotts credit. We actually ran a set that I was stoked about. We ran it twice in the first half where we passed the ball to Nurk up top, and Melo was in the corner kind of, and Dame went and set a back pick for him. Melo curled across the pick and dove to the basket, and Nurk found him twice. One time he missed and then followed it in. The second time he made an easy lay-in or dunk or whatever. But so we ran a play twice. It worked both times. We didn't even see it in the second half. We didn't even try to run a set in the second half. So it's so frustrating. We see these plays that work seemingly every time we run a play that we don't normally run. Yet when the offense is struggling in the second half, we don't run a play. It's just like, Dame, CJ, save us. You need to go ISO and win this game from us. I don't understand how no one can see that.
Yeah, and then you have people in chat
on the game.
Yeah, and then you have people in chat who will just blame it on Dame's free throws. Arwin here saying it was all Dame's free throws, as if there wasn't a bunch of issues leading up to that, right? That's the thing, is I get tired of the people that can only see the blatantly obvious stuff. Like, they can't they don't really realizing what's happening offensively. They don't really realize what's happening defensively, right? It's just like, oh, Dame missed those 2 free throws, so Dame's just, that's just Dame. Dame choked, screw Dame, that type of bullshit just drives me crazy, right? Like, yeah, he missed 2 free throws. He rarely does that. He almost always pulls through when it comes to clutch free throws. Law of averages say, okay, once in a blue moon, that might happen where he misses 2 free throws in a clutch situation like that. The thing is, he pulls through so much, that just sucks. That happens. The thing is, we should have never been in that position because the 5 minutes prior to that, we blew a lead against a far less talented lineup than us. A far less talented lineup than us. Everybody loves to excuse Stotts with, oh, well, the other team's just more talented, and, Stotts just doesn't have the personnel, right? We blew a lead against a lineup that was so far inferior to us, right? But then it's just the free throws. It's just the free throws, as if there wasn't anything else leading up to that. We should have been up 10, not behind in that situation, but because of our stagnant ass offense, because of no ball movement, we took some terrible shots down the stretch. A Nurkic fadeaway contested mid-range shot with the shot clock winding down. A Melo heavily contested step back 3, because that's the shots we had to resort to because our offense was so stagnant. The thing is, people don't, the people who defend Stotts won't, just for some reason, don't have a problem with that. It's the free throws, or it's the other stuff. I don't get it.
And this is what we talk about when Dame propels Stotts, not the other way around. So you see when Dame doesn't come through, and he absolutely messed up this game. He had a horrible second half. There's no denying that. I'm not going to be one of those people who can say Dame never does anything wrong, and he'll even admit that he had a bad second half of this game. But when he is dependent on saving him, and like you said, we shouldn't have even needed those free throws, but we're dependent on Dame to save or make that 3 at the end to tie it. Like we have to have him do that because our coaching is so bad, and that it's just so frustrating because people will say like, "Oh, Dame just missed those shots," but like, there's no reason. Like, we should have been up 20 in the first half. Like, there's no reason. You score 75 points in the half against that lineup, those players they were playing. There's no reason why they should have been within 6 at halftime. And so then it trickles into the second half, and then we had the same thing that happened in the Denver game where we get up like 9 points, and every freaking time they'd hit a 3. And it's because our defense can't get a stop to get on a little run to put the game away. And I want to talk about the defense more in depth later. But, yeah, it's like Dame should have made those free throws. He should have made at least one.
And he'll take responsibility for that. That doesn't mean that there wasn't a lot of other issues that shouldn't have happened, right? Because the thing is, Dame shoots 87%. He's going to miss some, It's not – that's just like law of averages, right? You can control – what type of defensive scheme you're running, right? You can't make every free throw, but you can decide not to switch basically every screen, every pick and roll. We're more in control of that, right? Because Stotts has total control over what defensive scheme his team runs. Dame can't make every free throw. So what's most controllable? The defense, what we were running. And that led to a lot more problems than just Dame missing 2 free throws, right? That's one possession where Dame missed 2 free throws. The defense caused us problems all game long. So the casual people, the casuals, will just focus on, those 2 free throws on that one possession, right? But our defense was a problem all game long. 73 points in the first half for the Clippers, man. And then down the stretch, you had possession after possession where we're switching into mismatches. Shoot, for a stretch we were guarding their point guard with Nurkic. We had Nurkic on Reggie Jackson for some reason. Like, the defense was just so ridiculously stupid this game that the people just focusing on the 2 free throws, it's just such a casual thing to do. It's such a casual thing to do. And those are the people that always come at me saying, you're always blaming Stotts, you don't know what you're talking about, right? It's just the casual BS like that. It's very frustrating. So you already had a guy in chat doing that, man. It's stupid. It's ridiculous.
We're not excusing Dame missing the free throws. Like, he should have made them. Like, there's no he messed up. He did. But the thing about it, this is like Zacho mentioned this on Discord, and several people have alluded to this in chat. So Dame will take full responsibility for this game, and for losing this game, which is great. That's what you want the leader to do, whatever. But the Stotts will not take any blame for this loss. He'll say "Oh, we just didn't make our free throws down the stretch" or something like that, and throw Dame under the bus when he didn't put the players in the best position to win this game, and it's so frustrating. I just cannot believe we lost this game. Doc Rivers tried to give us this game. They didn't play Kawhi. He took Paul George out with 6-7 minutes left in the game. He called his last time out purposely with 41 seconds left so that they didn't have a chance to call timeouts or set up any plays, so there was no excuse for him to coach the last 41 seconds. He could just let them happen. And we still gave up open shots and all that stuff. And it's just, there's no excuse for the execution. I do want to talk about a dynamic that I saw between Dame and CJ in this game. And then I also want to talk about the defense. What do you want to talk about first?
Whatever you want.
All right. So in the second half of this game, Dame actually, especially in the fourth quarter, was deferring to CJ a lot. So technically he was playing off ball, but he wasn't playing off ball, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
He was just letting CJ go, and he was just standing there. But we don't run any plays to get him work off ball. So and that's the problem. It's okay. Dame was obviously tired in this game, and big surprise, he's playing 40 minutes in all these games. And we talked about that last game, how he shouldn't have had to play 40 minutes versus Denver, but we had to bring him in with a minute into the fourth quarter because we couldn't keep a lead against Denver. And then these things trickle down. You have an early game, a day and a half later, and now he's super tired. He was short on his free throws. He was short on a lot of his three-point shots. He airballed one. He front-rimmed one. And he usually doesn't do that kind of stuff. And those kind of things add up when you get minutes. But he was obviously tired in the second half of this game and was deferring to CJ to let him so Dame could rest a little bit. But he wasn't doing anything to get the ball. It was just frustrating. They were just letting CJ go ISO, and CJ had a pretty good second half, but it's just so frustrating. And then that's the other dynamic of it is when Dame was guarding Paul George most of the time, Paul George was in this game, so he has to expend so much more energy on defense. And this is what, if you do it game after game after game, putting your best player in a position to where he also has to guard the best guy in defense, he doesn't have enough energy to consistently do it every game to save us at the end. And you saw that manifest tonight with the ending and him missing 2 free throws and then missing a 3-point shot that most people would probably miss, but we're used to seeing Dame hit those kind of shots. And it's just so frustrating that we just gave this game away.
Yep. Yeah, and it's just the typical stuff, man. It's just the typical, this is just normally the way we give away games is by our offense becoming too stagnant and our defense just being not disciplined. And tonight it was switching things that we didn't need to switch, and it was just, that last possession. I knew going into that possession where Rodney McGruder hit that go-ahead 3, I said out loud when they were inbounding the ball, damn, they're going to hit a 3 here. I was hoping I was wrong, you know what I mean? But I just had such a feeling we're up 2, but this blazery thing would be to give up a 3 here for the defense to just break down. And then you had Nurkic switched onto their point guard, Terrence Mann. Terrence Mann got by Nurkic because of the switch, and the defense had to collapse, and then the kick out was open to Rodney McGruder. So there again, just mismatch. We keep putting ourselves in defensive mismatches, and it's just ridiculous. But yet these people that cover the team, the media, and a lot of Blazer fans can't even realize that, oh, wait, we have Nurkic on their point guard, and that's why he got into the lane, and that's what collapsed the defense. Maybe we shouldn't have had our center on their point guard there. But media and a lot of people can't think that through or can't notice that type of stuff, right? So sorry, I'm a little annoyed at just media and Blazer fans that just love to tell me about how it is that they just aren't seeing stuff. So,
Chiefin, you have to post what he said. We don't have time to look it up right now. So
Yeah.
Don't tell us to look at tweets. Like, we don't have time to search Twitter for it. Just
Yeah,
post what he said in the chat.
You could just copy paste it and put quotes around it, because links won't post. So, yep.
But again, situational basketball. All right. Yes, you want to play good defense. You don't want to give up an easy shot. But if a player's driving, you don't want to collapse your whole defense down when you're up 2 and let him kick out to a wide open 3-point shooter. You let him get the 2. It ties the game versus being down 1, completely changes the complexion of the game from there on out. So once again, end of game, situational basketball, we don't do the right thing again, and that's a sign of coaching. We rarely ever know the right situational thing to do. We should have been in that timeout, been like, we cannot give up a 3 in this situation. Stay home on the shooters. If they drive and get by on one of our switches because we've been out of position all game, fine. We can live with that. We don't want that to happen, but at least make that happen. And then we have situations too where like Landry Shamit's driving because he's got Nurk on him, but like Collins comes over to help, and we foul Shamit when we have him surrounded by 2 7-footers, and he would have to take like an incredibly tough shot. It's like little things like that is just so undisciplined, and it's just so frustrating that we can't seem to figure out like little details that would help us win these games and put games away. And instead we let a team like the Clippers hang around, and then we lose it at the end because we make mistakes.
Yeah. So, yeah, and something that pissed me off too was Stotts' comments at the end of the third quarter where he was asked about the defense and, I just think it's just 2 good offensive teams. How many times have you heard Stotts really call out the defense or say we needed to defend better? Like, you might hear it now and then, but it's so rare. Even in games where our defense was terrible, like tonight, it's just, they made shots, or it's just good offensive team. It's just like, those are excuses to me, and that's bullshit to me. Like, no, we have to defend better. They're a good offensive team, but they're playing without Kawhi. Lou Williams didn't play down the stretch. They're playing without Montrez, right? If we're supposed to be a team trying to make a run and contend, you can't settle for, they're just a good offensive team when they're missing like 2 of their best 4 offensive players, but they're just a great offensive team. Nothing we can do. That mindset is a loser's mindset, and that pissed me off, that interview that Stotts had in between quarters. It's just like, I hear excuses from all the time as if it's like we can't control how we play defense. We were the 27th ranked defense out of 30 this year. Nurkic and Collins came back. These media clowns said that was going to fix things, having Nurkic and Collins back. Our defense isn't any better with them back. It's not any better. And yet here you have Stotts just good offensive teams, just good outside shooting, right? And you have the media guys and guys on Twitter just soaking it up like, nothing we can do. More talented team. And then tonight, like, I don't know what the excuse being made right now is, because there's no way that was the more talented team on the floor tonight. We were the more talented team. But
by far.
Yeah. So I'm just so pissed. The same stuff. I get so tired of seeing no improvement in multiple areas. The coaching and the coverage.
So the thing I noticed because I was trying to figure out during this game why the defense was struggling so bad against such like a weak lineup. And I think I figured it out. It's because there's no synchronization. Like, everyone's so focused on being a good defender individually or making the right decision like in a pick and roll, but they're not playing together, like doing the right things for the team defensively. So they're all like on their own, like, I gotta switch this. But like on the backside, they're thinking it's gonna play out a different way. Like, we don't know what's gonna happen. And then like people just like spontaneously do something out of it, and then it gets all mixed up. And there's no discipline, there's no synchronization, it's just chaotic, and you cannot play defense in the NBA like that. It'll get exposed almost every time, and we're seeing that happen.
So Kendrick Perkins' tweet, I see it. He said, he's responding to Skip Bayless. Skip, did you watch the game? They doubled Dame every play as soon as he crossed half court. Terry Stotts lost that game for Portland. Should have never came down to those free throws in the first place. Carry on.
Yeah, I mean they were sending a double pretty high on Dame.
Yeah, and then just the thing is, we were like waiting for it, and then we didn't have players in position to exploit it. We didn't have players in position to exploit it. We didn't have a plan to attack it. Which is like, this happens all the time. It happens all the time, and we don't know how to deal with it. Oh my god!
We got an argument a couple months ago about whether we were more prepared to deal with that kind of stuff, and that's why I said we weren't. But yeah.
It's so stupid, man. It's so stupid. It's so dumb. God. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. Like, I don't even know what to say, dude. It's like, we should be so ready to just snap into, okay, they're trapping Dame up there. Okay. How do we attack it? Where's the weakness in their backside rotations? It happens so much. How do we not have a plan? How do we not have a plan? It drives me crazy. That's such a coaching thing. Like, it's happened for years. We got swept by a 6 seed because of it. Because we didn't have a good plan of attack against it, right? But no, it's just Dame stand at half court and then CJ stand across up at half court and, we'll just pass it to CJ and they'll get back to their guys and then we stand around and CJ will like, okay, throw to Melo, step back, super contested 3. You know what I mean? It's that type of stuff. They have 2 defenders on one guy at half court, which means below the half court line, we have a 4-on-3 advantage. But no, we pass it across, still keep it around half court, pass it across the court to CJ, who's also at half court, and then he just stands there. Like, like, it's just so stupid. It's so dumb. And that's what drives me crazy about these freaking casuals that just try and tell me, no, man, all it was the missed free throws. God, man. Anyway.
Yeah, so Alexandra Santiago says, did you see the timeout called when it was 110-115 to Portland? Yeah, like we called a timeout up 5 off like a missed shot, I think. We got a rebound and Melo was about to turn around and pass it, and coach called a timeout, and everyone was like, what? Yeah, good job, Stotts.
Yeah, it was a weird timeout. It's just the same shit, different game, you know? We'll never fully get to where we should be in the coaching department with Stotts as head coach. That's why I want a different head coach.
The problem is, I mean, it's not going to happen, so.
I know. And that's the problem. But like that's the thing. It's like, you know, these media people, and I'm just ranting about everything right now, but I think this is what you guys want. But these media people, right? You bring this up. Oh, nothing about his resume would say he's anything but a good head coach. You know, his resume, blah blah. Like, it's just, how are we not breaking down the offense? How did people have no problem with the offense?
Hey, Trevin, can you please not do what we asked you not to do?
What did he do?
He said Chad had a good tweet about what it was. He just didn't blame it on Stotts. But, like, why don't you just tell us what he said instead of just saying he had a good tweet? Because, like, I can't find it. He retweets way too many tweets, and I don't want to, like, be looking stuff up while we're playing or while we're doing the show. Anyways, do you want to respond to what Bad Boy or Block Boy is saying?
What did he say? I think my chat's just slightly behind yours. Bro, nobody is saying that it's just the free throw. Stop saying that. The point is that your star has to make 2 free throws in a 1-point game. I mean, at least make 1. Yeah, it would have been nice for him to hit both. The thing is, there's like, based on his career shooting percentage from the free throw line, there's a 1% chance that he'll miss 2 free throws in that scenario. All right? How many times has he been in that scenario? I can't remember him ever missing 2 free throws in that scenario. So, I mean, just law of averages. Like, stuff happens. Yes, would have been nice for him to hit that. Dame pulls through in the clutch all the time, though. So there's going to be times where he doesn't pull through. That's just how basketball works, right? Like, you're going to, like, even a great free throw shooter will miss free throws every now and then. It just so happened that Dame missed 2 in a row. So, yeah, that sucks. What we're in the most control over is our defensive scheme, our offensive scheme. We're in complete 100% control of that. That's the problem I have. And that hurt a lot more possessions than one possession where Dame missed 2 free throws, right? There was many possessions where our offense and our defense was just terrible. It was a lot more important than Dame missing 2 free throws.
How many times, like CJ, how many times are you going to get a freaking foul with the ball not inbounds yet and they get a free throw out of it? Luckily, they miss it, but like in a close game, you can't do stuff like that. And then like a play or two later is when he got matched up on Patterson. And instead of letting him make a shot that they'd still be down 1, he gets an and 1, and they tie the game on the free throw. Like, why are you fouling in those situations? Like, it's just, we play so dumb. Like, it's so frustrating to watch.
Yep. And I mean, like, Stan Van Gundy has been kind of like low-key calling out Stotts the past couple games. Like, not directly, but like our style of play and the stuff we're doing. He's been calling it out. Kendrick Perkins has been calling it out. Last year after Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals, a lot of former players and analysts lit up Stotts more than I've ever seen a head coach lit up, right? On the outside, I think there's a lot of people that are realizing that Stotts isn't all that he's built up to be, right? His peers will talk him up because he's a nice guy and a fellow coach, right? But, I mean, I don't know. Like, you see stuff from the outside. You see people corroborating what we're saying. Kendrick Perkins is a perfect example of that. Yes, he might have, a bad prediction, a bad take here and there, but he played basketball. He was an NBA player for years, right? So, I mean, he knows what he's talking about. All these people that say, oh, yeah, you guys don't know what you're talking about. You're not coach. Listen to me. I'm Chad Doing. Like, okay, well, let's listen to Kendrick Perkins then. It's just so stupid. Like, I'm tired of just, to me, it's just obvious problems. To me, it's just obvious stuff that happens over and over again. And, but the Blazer community is mostly just shitting on Dame after this game. That's what really pissed me off, was just how people were shitting on Dame. Like, how many times has he pulled through for us? And then the moment he lets you down, you're just gonna shit all over him.
Gary missed two threes in a row, and I saw a bunch of people being like, oh, Gary's run's over. It was fun while it lasted. Like, dude, guys, shut up. Like, so stupid. So, like, I don't know. I'm just trying to ignore those people, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm just triggered. If we won, I wouldn't be addressing this stuff. I'm just triggered, man. Just triggered at this stuff, so. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I'm just scrambled brained. I can't believe we lost that.
We're not going to get a new coach. Stotts just signed an extension. It's not happening. It doesn't even pay to talk about who would be a replacement coach or what's going to happen, because it's not going to.
Yeah. It's not going to happen. Not going to happen.
So Dylan says Blazers still have a good chance to beat the Lakers in the first round. Clippers are a well-rounded team with lots of depth. Did you not pay attention? They had most of their guys out of this game. They barely played Lou Williams, who killed us in the first half, and also didn't play Paul George much down the stretch.
We choked against a lineup of Landry Shamet, Landry Shamet, Terrence Mann, Rodney Magruder, Jermichael Green, and Patrick Patterson. That's the lineup we choked this game to when we had Damian Lillard, CJ McCollum, Yusuf Nurkic, Carmelo Anthony, right? And we choked to that lineup. So no, it isn't anything about them being better. It's not them having better personnel or Stotts not having the right personnel compared to them. Because we choked against that lineup.
Yeah, I did see that Dame was saying stuff about Beverly and Paul George in the postgame, but yeah. I don't care about that stuff right now. We blew a game. We could be a half game back of Memphis right now and in complete control of the 8th seed and only having to win one game to make the playoffs in the play-in game. And now we have to win 2 games. Most likely we'll have to beat Memphis twice if we even make the play-in game. And now we have to win other games just to get in there. It's so frustrating. And the Clippers wanted us to win this game. That's the most frustrating part. They did everything in their power to let us win this game, and we still lost to a bunch of scrub bench players that barely play on their team.
Michael, when the hell did Dame say that? Dame never said that, bro. Where is that? Provide me the quote, because I don't believe that. That sounds like some completely made up BS. So, yeah, I mean, it's just the same problems that hurt us.
Dame's completely loyal to Stotts. It's not. That's why he's still the coach. But I don't think he's ever said that.
But like,
directly.
Dame can't.
He stood up for Stotts.
Yeah, Dame can't. Dame has like 5 years left on his contract. What? Is he going to sit out 4 years if Stotts gets let go? He's seen teammates he loves gets let go, right? He loved Plumlee. Was upset when Plumlee got traded for Nurkic.
He was upset.
How's that worked out?
Frazier.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So, yeah, he'd probably be upset, but he'll be fine. I've never seen it. Like, don't make up quotes like that, bro.
We always talk about it, but...
yeah, see, it was fake news. Yeah, don't make up quotes like that, bro.
We always talk about the Giannis thing. He was so mad when they fired Jason Kidd, and look how that's turned out for them.
Exactly. So...
they're not going to buy out Stotts. They traded Scal to save like $1 million this year. They're not going to buy out a coach with several years left on his contract.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like, yes, Dame should have hit both free throws. That would have been nice. We should have never been in that position before. Or we should not have been in that position, though. And we can't keep relying on Dame to bail us out because he's not going to be perfect, and we saw that today. So we have to do a better job of executing down the stretch so we're not in that position. Because if we just do a better job just running better offense and maybe not switching everything on defense, we probably win this game. No matter if Dame makes or misses those 2 free throws. And we have control over what we do in terms of the style of ball we play, right? Shots might not always go in, but I guarantee you we would have shot better if we didn't run such a stagnant offense, if we didn't just stand at half court for a while, wait for the trap to come, pass across to CJ at half court, and he kind of stood around. Like, we would have gotten better shots if we ran better offense. We wouldn't have had to resort on, hopefully Nurk hits this Dirk Nowitzki contested fadeaway, or, hopefully Carmelo hits this Dirk Nowitzki contested three-pointer. Like, we didn't get good shots. It'd be one thing if we got good shots down the stretch. We did not get good shots down the stretch. We might have missed a couple good shots, but our shot quality was bad because of our offense.
Well, even the last play, or I guess it was still like 15 seconds left or whatever. So the play is for Dame to make a 3. That's all we run. Is like Dame dribble down and try to hit a 3. Like there was no set, no action run. We saved our timeout in that situation. That would have been different than the game we were talking about against Boston, where we could have gone 2 for 1 there and gone to the basket and got a quick 2, fouled and had a timeout. If they make both free throws, we're still only down 3, and there's still like 6-7 seconds left. So it's completely opposite of what happened to us the other time. But we decided to save our timeout and go for 3 when that might have been a good position to go for 2 really quickly. But whatever.
Yeah.
But like it shouldn't even have come down to like I can't believe in this game I'm even talking about free throws at the end of this game and stuff like that. Like we should have won by like 20-30 points in this game. Like there's no excuse for it coming down to the end where we possibly could have lost this game.
Yep. I mean, like, it's just the same problems. It's the same problems, and we see when when we fix these problems, we see how good we can be, right? We didn't shoot the best against Houston, but our defense against Houston was the best defense because we switched it up, because we trapped Harden, and our backside rotations were like okay-ish. We're okay-ish, right? And that was the best defense we've played in the entire bubble, right? Like, we've seen that so far this year when we switch things up in terms of our defensive scheme, our defense tends to be better, right? So that makes me even more mad when we just, drop the big, or, let's just switch everything. Because we've seen proving me right that, yes, when we switch up our defense, we tend to have better results. So it gets frustrating to that point because we'll see that, right? And then, when we run this bullshit that we did tonight where we just switch everything, it's going to lead to 122 points against a Clippers team who's not even playing a lot of good players.
And I was worried about this. That's why I wanted the Clippers to not tank this game, is because I've mentioned this twice now that I think the Blazers have gone into this bubble thinking every game's a playoff game. We have to win. We have to win. And then when Kawhi doesn't play and they barely play guys at the end, Portland gets this attitude like, oh, we're definitely getting the 8 seed now. We're definitely winning this game. And they don't play like they have to win this game. And they don't play like their lives depend on winning this game. And they get complacent and they don't focus on defense, and stuff like this happens. And they messed around and lost a game, and it could cost them their season losing this game. And it's so frustrating because they had every advantage in this game except for coaching. And their other coach tried to let our coach out coach him, and he couldn't even do that. Which is frustrating.
Yeah, but the thing is, there's so many games this year that we lost due to just dumb coaching stuff. I mean, you can go all the way back. Like, the one that sticks out the most is just that Philadelphia game where we give up that Furkan Korkmaz 3 because we didn't switch screens on an inbounds with 3 seconds left, right? That is the one situation you switch. The ultimate situation where you always switch is like 3 seconds left on an inbounds.
Yep.
Because they don't really have time they don't have time to exploit it. So you just need somebody there to contest a shot. But no, we tried to fight through screens, so Furkan freaking Korkmaz was wide open, running to the corner to hit a 3 to win that game, right? We should have been talking about Anthony Simons hitting a game winner after that game. That game hurts right now. We would only be half a game behind Memphis right now instead of 1.5. There's been so many games this year like that. So many games this year where, yes, you could point to, oh, guys are hurt, right? But our defense isn't any better with Nurkic and Collins back, right?
You wonder what that would have done for Simon's confidence moving forward if he had a game winner on his record, too.
Yeah. So, I mean, the thing is, the common theme throughout these games is just terrible situational basketball. Terrible situational basketball under Terry Stotts. That is the one common denominator, right? Because our personnel has changed. Now we don't have Ariza and, Hood, but we have Collins and Nurkic, right? Our personnel has changed throughout the entire season. It's just like the personnel will always be the excuse for some people, unless Stotts has like a super, a big four future Hall of Famers, just a completely loaded lineup. It's always going to be, oh well, Stotts doesn't have the best player at this position, so it's personnel, right? That's always going to be the argument for a lot of people. So I don't know, man. It's just the same problems, and this just reminds me of like the type of stream we had all season long. So,
yep. Alexander Santiago wanted us to shout out Portugal. So, what's up, Portugal? I assume that's where you're living.
Arwen says Dan's not crying. He on the next pulling his troops together. Well, yeah, as an athlete, that's what you do, right? We're not Damian Lillard. We're not like athletes in that locker room, right? We're breaking down the game because that's what we do, and breaking down the Blazers situation. So I don't know. I don't know what that point is.
I just want to correct you on something. I am so sick of that. Everyone loses to a bad team every once in a while. We can't do that right now. We cannot. This is our season is on the line. You cannot lose to the scrub teams. We've lost to scrub teams all freaking year, and every time I've heard that excuse. Oh, well, everyone loses to the Knicks every once in a while, but we went in there and got blown out by like 24 points or whatever it was, and like didn't even show up for that game. We all went out drinking the night before for New Year's, and then just thought we would just rolling out of bed and kick the Knicks' butt because they suck, and we got our butts kicked. We lost to the Warriors when they didn't have their entire starting five in that game and had a bunch of like two-way contract players dominate us. We lost at Cleveland. There's way too many games.
Cleveland didn't even have Kevin Love that game. Yeah.
I can go on and on for like 10 minutes about all the games we blew this year. I'm so sick of that. Like, oh, we got to lose some of those every once in a while. No, we had this game won. We should have won this game. There is no excuse for blowing this game. And yeah. We did beat the Warriors, but we did lose to them as well, Block Boy. So I don't know.
We lost to them with Kai Bowman going off. Kai Bowman and Jordan Poole like clowning us. Yeah, in Golden State. So Yeah, no, we've lost to there are many that I'm forgetting. We lost to like the Pelicans when they didn't have Zion, Brandon Ingram, or Derek Favors, I believe. We lost to many teams this year.
They got killed by the Hawks late in the season.
Yep, the freaking Atlanta Hawks. The Atlanta Hawks. We had Ariza for that game, right? We had Ariza. So, yeah, no, there's been a bunch of terrible losses this season. No more excuses at this point, especially when you're in a position where all you have to do is just coach a decent game to pull out a win, not completely stagnate the offense, and not just switch everything on defense, and you have the game won against an inferior lineup. But since you stagnate everything and switch everything, you lose. And that could cost us a playoff. Like, no excuses for that.
Trevin has a good point. Yeah, Dame had to score 60 for us to beat the Warriors last game we played them. And we still barely beat them.
No, I was 61, right? Because didn't he have 60?
Like
didn't he have 60 and we lost to the Nets?
Yeah, we had 60 at home and lost to the Nets.
Yeah, there's been so many bad losses this season. Like, yeah, no.
Dylan, there is nothing positive. Sorry, man. We blew it. We blew it. We've been given the 8 seed on a silver platter, and we just said, nah, no thanks. We'll try to make this way harder on ourselves. Mm-hmm. We can still get the 8 seed, but now we have to win 2 games in the play-in seed, most likely to do it. We have to fend off a bunch of teams who are right on our heels that are playing better basketball. We had to win this game when they did not play Kawhi Leonard and didn't care about winning this game by not playing Paul George or Lou Williams much in the second half, and we let them win. Like there's no reason to be positive about it. I'm sorry. If you want Blazers Outsiders is probably talking about all the great like timeouts during this game and entertainment that they had during halftime or whatever. But
they're in a bubble, so those guys are probably a little lost.
No, I know.
Because that's what they've done all season.
So go turn into them if I don't know. If
we tell it how it is, bro. We tell it how it is. All right, I don't know if you're new to us or what, but we tell it how it is, right? After a good win, we'll break down things that went well and focus on some things that we need to improve. After a tough loss like this, just a horrible late game collapse, we're going to talk about the horrible late game collapse. We tell it how it is. Chad Doing is probably defending Terry Stotts over on Rip City Radio 620. So turn to 620 a.m. if you're in the Portland area, and you can get that positive coverage, you know. We just tell it how it is. So don't complain about it.
And Cryptic says we about to get to 8th, have faith. So we have to go 3-0, and Memphis would have to go 1-2 for that to happen. It's possible. It's just,
Philadelphia doesn't have Ben Simmons, then Dallas, and then we play Brooklyn, so we could go.
The degree of difficulty, just like we pretty much control their own destiny, because I don't think Memphis is going to win out. So like if we won out, we would have overtaken them, but now we just made it that much harder. Now we have to rely on scoreboard watching and all that stuff, when up until yesterday everything had pretty much gone our way that we needed to go to get that 8 seed, and we didn't have any margin of error to lose a game like this.
When did we say playoffs are out of the picture? We never said playoffs are out of the picture. It's going to be a lot harder to play our way into the playoffs now. That's all we've said. I never said it was out of the picture. So Mavs will be the hardest game, but hopefully they rest since they're locked into that 7th seed. Yeah, I mean, hopefully. The thing is, they could rest and they could still beat us. We saw that today.
Yeah, what does that matter?
Yeah, I mean, it's not. I don't know.
The Brooklyn game isn't a guarantee either.
Yeah. So I mean, we could get caught. We might not even be in a play-in, because I think we only have a 1-win lead on San Antonio and Phoenix, right? So if they win one more game than us over their final 3, they pass us. Phoenix, freaking Phoenix. If they get one more win than us over their final 3 games, Phoenix passes us.
Oh, you mean that Phoenix team that beat the Clippers with both Kawhi Leonard and Paul George playing the whole game? Yeah,
yep.
that Phoenix.
They're also without their starting small forward like we are. They're without Kelly Oubre, who's probably better than Trevor Ariza, right? Yeah, that team. But they're a good coach team. Monty Williams is a good head coach. You watch the way they run things offensively. Like, Monty Williams is a better coach than Terry Stotts, right? They don't have a better lineup than us, but they're playing better basketball than us. What's the difference? If we have a better lineup than they do, which we definitely do, Dame, CJ, Nurk, far better than Booker and Ayton and Aaron Baines and Ricky Rubio and Mikal Bridges. Like, our lineup's so much better.
Yeah, Trevin made me laugh. So that's a good point. Yeah. So we beat Brooklyn. We're in the play-in game, but we lose, and everyone's like, "Oh, well, that happens every once in a while. We lose to a bad team."
Yeah. Oh my God, man. So that's just triggering. That's just, yeah, it sucks. It absolutely sucks. Just, yeah. Yep. So.
Yeah, I wish Miami could beat the Suns today, but like I said, if we just take care of our own business, we don't even have to worry about those teams. That's the problem. Like, now we have to worry about all that crap. And there's so many more scenarios come into play now than us just getting the 8 seed and only having to worry about who we're playing and have to beat 1 out of 2 games versus having to win 2 games now against whatever team we play most likely. It's just so frustrating.
Trevin had a tweet saying, things that people have said to defend Stotts. It's not a guaranteed fact that Stotts chooses the lineups. Coaching schemes don't impact how good players play. A good coach lets their best players do what they want. Stotts can't play defense and hit shots for them. That's like just the casual BS excuses rolled up into one tweet. Trevin, that's my favorite tweet you've ever posted. Because, yeah, that's all stuff that's been said that's just absolutely ridiculous.
Did Paul George say that about Trent?
What did you say?
He talks too much for a scrub, basically.
A scrub? Yeah, he's just like Dame's shot was a bad shot. He needs to shut up and stop being salty. Little sensitive
I saw them talking
superstar.
during the game.
Scrub. Did he not watch him play today? Like, come on now. Has he not been paying any attention to him in the bubble?
That's the disappointing part. Trent was 6 of 10 from 3, 60%. He's Trent with another amazing game, 22 points off the bench. I think they said he's the leading scorer off the bench in the bubble right now. Mm-hmm. He's leading the league in 3-point shots, obviously. And we can't win with a guy getting 22 points on 6 of 10 shooting off the bench. Like, it's just.
Yeah, it sucks, man. Just ridiculous. Just absolutely ridiculous. So, anyway, I respond to chat for like 5 minutes, but then I end up getting off. I'm going to drive to the beach, to be honest. I need to, my family's down there. So I'm just driving there for the day. And hopefully I can, go down there and relax. Dylan, you're an absolute moron. Thanks for proving it. Yeah, I didn't think you were a Blazer fan with the dumb stuff you're saying, but, yeah, no, if you think Paul George is greater than Dame, you're tripping, bro. You're absolutely tripping. I ain't even going to hold back on any of the trolls at this point. I'll be feisty today. But yeah, no, I'm about to drive to the beach. And hopefully forget about this bullshit. Oh, man. It's rough.
Game time doesn't work in the morning.
Yeah, it was too early, bro. Too early, man. Yeah. I don't know, man. I mean, what else can we even say? Chat?
Zacho says Doc Rivers came out and said he wanted us to win. Is that true? Or are you just being your usual sarcastic self? I mean, every decision he made. Alex, I have no idea what their odds are. The only odds I see is winning the Western Conference or winning the championship. I haven't seen odds to make the playoffs. I know they were pretty good going into this game. They were really good too for being the 8 seed, and now they're bad. Yeah.
See, Dylan said, "Imagine losing to our rookies." #salt. Yeah, it was bad that we lost to y'all rookies. Or the thing is, none of them were rookies, so I don't even know what the hell you're talking about. Terrence Mann was the only rookie on the court, so I mean, I don't know why you pluralized that, but yeah, it was bad that we lost to that lineup. So of course we're gonna be salty. You even admit it. Imagine losing to our rookies or a bad lineup. Yeah, it's bad. I know. That's why we're salty. That's why we're annoyed. I don't know why you even got a troll, bro. If you agree with us. Anyway, yeah, have a good one. I hope we get the AC2, bro.
No, Max Kelly, no chance we move off to Stotts. It's not happening.
I wish, man. I,
Malcolm says, guys, what does that mean?
guys, OMG. What happened?
Oh, there's another thing. Guess who was our first guy off the bench today? Yay, Mario Hazonia! Woohoo! How do you not put Trent in the freaking get him in the game? He needs to be in the game. Zach gets 2 fouls, move Melo to power forward, and bring bring Trent into the game. It's not difficult. It's so freaking simple. Have a non-stagnant offense, play some freaking defense, and put Trent in the freaking game. It's not hard. God, I'm so mad.
I know.
Sorry, but why would you bring in Mario Hazonia? Why? Why would you do it as the first player into the game? Seriously. Are you crazy?
Yeah, I agree, man. I wasn't even really paying attention. I was trying to figure out the stream issues, the YouTube glitch stuff, so I didn't even notice that Mario came first because I was kind of half watching the game, so I didn't even notice that. Yeah, I mean, what? It just doesn't that's so stupid. What? I wasn't even going to complain about that because I didn't even realize that. But yeah, that's absolutely ridiculous. You have your best bench player by far who's been going off, and you can move Melo to his more natural position at this point in his career. But no, you bring in Mario freaking Hazonia.
I understand with Whiteside you might have to play Hazonia a couple minutes, but it's okay, Melo's the starting small forward. You can't move him to power forward now. What are we doing? Why? And without a backup center in this game, they probably should have had Collins be the backup center and put Trent in the starting lineup and move Melo to the power forward anyway. Then Zach doesn't get into foul trouble right away like he has several games. We did play Wenyan a little bit. He did okay. He didn't really do much on offense. He was okay defensively, but yeah, it's just so frustrating. What? It's just simple.
Yeah.
We had a couple of guys off the bench, Trent and Gabriel brought some energy, at least. We needed some energy. We were obviously not woken up in the second half, but of course, we don't try anything different in the second half when our offense is complete crap. Little hasn't gotten a chance in any of these games, which is way down on the list of things that could have been different. But it's just Trent is one of the best players in this bubble right now. You get him in the game as fast as possible. If Collins gets 2 fouls, you bring Trent in the game. It's not like they had a big lineup or a big power forward or something. Yeah. I mean, they had Morris, but Melo can guard Morris, but we had Zach guarding Reggie Jackson at the beginning of this game, and everything was all messed up. I don't understand, and this is what happens when you start Melo with the 3 and don't have the lineups to defend, and you have to have Dame guard Paul George, and everything's messed up. We let them get away with Paul George guarding Zach Collins for a while, the first 10 possessions of this game until Zach got his 2 fouls. And we didn't take it's just so frustrating. Ugh.
Trent played 35 minutes today. CJ and Dame played 39. I've said if you're going to play, you need to match Gary Trent's minutes with Dame and CJ. If you're going to run Dame and CJ into the ground playing them 40 minutes a game, which I honestly at this point you got to kind of play him 40 minutes a game. But in that case, also play Gary Trent Jr. 40 minutes per game. Because right now, he is easily, by far and away, our 4th best player. Right? Honestly, some people would say he's playing better than CJ right now. Some people might say he's playing better. He's in our top 4. Dame, CJ, Nurkic, Trent. You can't play Nurkic 40 minutes a game. He doesn't really have that kind of stamina, right? That's probably not ideal for Nurkic. But Gary Trent Jr. is in phenomenal shape. Maintains his energy through the 35 minutes. He needs to play as many minutes as Dame and CJ. He should be playing 39, 40 minutes a game alongside Dame and CJ, right? If we're going to try and play the lineup that gives us the best chance of winning, which would mean, okay, playing Dame and CJ 40 minutes a game, then also, why is Mario Hazonia playing 11 minutes and Gary Trent Jr. playing 35 minutes instead of Gary Trent Jr. playing 40 minutes and Mario Hazonia playing 6? Those extra 5 minutes for Trent, with how good of a shape he's in, is not going to kill his play. He seems to get better the longer he's in. We saw that in the second quarter, where he burst out during the second quarter after being in for a bit. So he should be playing 40 minutes a game right now.
Yeah, and the thing is, I think we had like an 8 to 10 point lead when we subbed Mario in. I forgot what it was, but they instantly came right back and made it close again. And then of course Mario went out of the game, and we went on a little run towards the end of half. But yeah, it's so frustrating. Chum says Clippers players and coaches wanted to win this game. Yeah, of course they wanted to win this game. They're gonna root for their players to win, who's ever in the game. It's like us, the last game of the year last year. We didn't want to win that game. You can't tell me that Coach Stotts wanted to win that game, but he's gonna coach to win that game like while he's playing. He's not gonna like make the players miss shots, and he's not like the players aren't gonna not get excited when Simons goes off for 37. Like that stuff is going to happen, but like I mean, Rivers didn't even play Paul George or Lou Williams much in the fourth quarter. So how can you say that he wanted to win that game when he tried to put in his worst lineup that he had available? It's not, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm sure he's happy for them. He wanted them to do well. It's not like he wants them to miss a three if they're wide open and the game's on the line or whatever. I'm sure that's great for his team that they got.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alex asks, why does Mario get to play so much in all seriousness? It's because, well, if we had Ariza, he wouldn't play at all. If we had Hood, Mario wouldn't play at all. So it is the fact that we're down two. And then on top of that, Stotts wouldn't, Stotts is unwilling to play little over him. We knew that going in, as stupid as that is. But yeah.
Look at that. I hate Paul George.
Yep.
Bro, you got sent home last year, bro. A shot hit in your face, and then you were salty as hell about crying about bad shot, man. So I don't want to hear any talk from you.
Wait, did Gary Trent respond too? Was that Trent or no?
No.
I thought I saw him.
Bro, he's literally like the biggest. Honestly, Paul George is like a punk. Paul George.
He turned into Westbrook.
Yeah, man. Like
when he played with them, they kind of became buddies. And yeah.
I have less respect for Paul George than I do Russell Westbrook. Believe it or not. That sounds crazy, but like, remember when the Pacers were like the 1 seed, and then all of a sudden they fell apart at the end of the season? You remember that? It was like 2012, 2013. And basically what's been heavily rumored as the cause to that was Paul George, who's best friends or like really good friends with Roy Hibbert at the time. Paul George slept with Roy Hibbert's fiance. And that was the downfall of that. That's kind of like, it's not really talked about, but there's been a lot of people that have said that was the case, and that there was like a huge rift in the locker room about it. Like Evan Turner was a part of that situation because he was playing there at the time, Lance Stevenson, right? So like, I mean, there's stuff about Paul George off the court that's just like, yeah, bro, I don't respect you. Like Russell Westbrook, I have no disrespect. Like I respect him off the court. You know what I mean? Married man, like does some good in the community, that type of thing. He gets annoying as hell to play against, but that's also, he's insanely competitive and like just like has just such a huge chip on his shoulder. You know what I mean? Like that's like annoying as hell, and I can't stand it when it's against us. But like also it's like different than being a petty. It's so petty. Like Paul George is super super petty and just I don't like Paul George at all. I don't like him, man.
Well, he's now demanded a trade from 2 teams now too. Yeah, it's kind of weak. Yeah. That's why he'll never be as good as Dame.
Yeah.
I mean, he's good, but yeah.
Yeah, we're going to send you home this year, too. Yeah, you just had to get traded to a team with another top 3 player because you can't carry a team on your own, you bum. Like, we've seen you try to carry a team on your own against Dame, who is carrying a team on his own, and look what the hell happened. Dame absolutely exposed you and dropped a 50-piece on your head in Game 5 to send you home, bro. And then you cried about how he had a bad shot against you, so I don't want to hear any talk, bro. You're in no position to talk. I wish I could bring Paul George on here so I could say the stuff right now, because there's nothing he could say. He just sound like an absolute moron, because that's what he does saying that, bro. You have no room to talk, because literally, what sent you home last year? What sent you home? What made you want to go join a team with another top 3 player? Because you're not an alpha dog player in this league.
But that was a bad shot.
Yeah. He ain't no alpha, so quit talking like an alpha player in this league. You're a number 2 on a contending team. That's it. When you were a number 1, Dame beat you in 5. So I'm not trying to hear anything from his mouth. That's just stupid, man.
Alex Wolf says PG's Pacers teams gave the Heatles a run for their money. They lost to the Mavericks. They lost to the Spurs. It's not like that team was unbeatable or something. That team way underachieved. They should have won 4 straight titles after they had LeBron, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh. There's no way that team should have not won all 4 titles the 4 years they were together.
Yep.
And you could not convince me otherwise.
And PG made it to the conference finals in a weak Eastern Conference. Dave made it in a loaded Western Conference. So, yeah, no, like...
And beat him to do it.
Mm-hmm. And beat him to do it. So, yeah, no, he became so overrated last year. And they, my shoulder. Oh, my shoulder, right? I'll double clutch at the end of the game, no problem, right? But then, if I miss a shot, let me, work my shoulder out, you know? Oh, if I hit it, I don't need to work my shoulder out at all. You know what I mean? Like, he was playing up to that injury last year, too. Like, he had an issue with his shoulder, but he, played to it because he's weak like that. I have no respect for Paul George, man. He honestly is one of my least favorite players in the league, and I don't really talk about it that much because it's not something where he does something on the court and it's super super annoying. So then I tweet about it. Russell Westbrook is he'll do something on the court that's just super super annoying, and I'll tweet about it just because it's just a bunch of reactionary stuff. Paul George is just screw you, just overall just screw you.
And to anyone who says Paul George was hurt in that series, go look at the end of Game 3. Watch the last 10 seconds of that game. Paul George was not hurt. He did a double clutch, reverse jam as time expired in that game, and they all celebrated like they won the freaking championship after winning one freaking game in that series. And then all of a sudden, when they lose, he hits the game winner in his face. It's like, oh, my shoulder, I have to get surgery. His shoulder wasn't bugging him when they won that game. He was totally healthy.
Yeah. So anyway, that's our response to that. Malcolm sent that to me on Twitter. Yeah, he should not be talking. Win like a man, lose like a man. That's all I gotta say. Which some people say, Dame wasn't losing like a man, but I mean, he's just responding to people being disrespectful. You know, he's just reacting to stuff people are doing, which was Pat Beverly on the bench and all that.
He's saying that the fact that they were talking crap to him missing those free throws means they respect him, which is true. I mean, that's true. They expected him to make those, so when he didn't, that they're going to talk crap to him. But I guarantee you they wouldn't have talked crap if he made both of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
They probably waited till after he missed to talk crap. Mm-hmm. Those are the type of players they are.
Yep. So, yeah, no respect for Paul George. I do not respect that man. So he can, get the hell off Instagram. Go find Go try and bring one of his teammates' girlfriends into the bubble so he can get her to cheat, because that's the type of guy he is. Oh, man.
And Kevin, I know the last year Wade was starting to become a shell of his former self, but that doesn't excuse why they didn't have 3 rings leading up to that. They also had that they would have lost the year before to the Spurs too if Ray Allen doesn't hit that 3 in Game 6. I don't know, just lots of stuff.
Yep. Anyway, anything else you want to go over with this thing?
Yeah, Alexander said Beverly before. I think this was a few weeks ago, but Beverly said that Dame was the hardest player for him to guard or whatever. But now he's talking crap to him because he missed a free throw in a game that he didn't even play in. It's weak.
Yeah. Yeah. Blazers versus Clips, Western Conference Finals. I'm down. Yeah, I mean, let's hope we just make the playoffs. Because our chances went down a lot with this one. We're probably going to have to play in as the 9th seed. which is, I mean, if we win that first game, then it's like the same situation we were in, I guess. But then Memphis can adjust to that. I don't know. It's just this season has just been so stupid. This is just the most. I wasn't a Stotts fan before the season, but this season from Stotts was the most infuriating season he's ever had.
See, my problem is, it's like he buys the same excuses that fans do.
Yeah.
Oh, what are we supposed to do? We have injuries. What are we supposed to do? They made shots. Every team loses to a bad team. Like, I can see Stotts saying all that crap too. Like, and that's the problem. Like, you're the freaking coach. You have an opportunity to make those things not happen.
Yeah.
Like, that's so frustrating. Like, I mean, we always bring up different coaches, but Nick Nurse had games where he had like his top 6 players, all good defenders, out of games, and he still managed to beat good teams, coming up with like brilliant game plans and doing weird things and like basically willing his team to win and putting his players in the best position to win. Instead, we're just like, oh, what are we supposed to do? They just hit some threes down the stretch and we didn't execute properly, blah, blah, blah. Oh well, we'll get them next game. Oh, we have to start playing better sooner or later. Like, how many times do we hear that this season? Oh, it's go time. We got to start playing harder. Like, why weren't you playing harder before? Like, God.
Like I said, most infuriating season ever from Terry Stotts. And we've lost a bunch of games we should have won. If there's like 10 games that we lost to inferior teams that we should have easily won, if we won half of those, right, we would have, instead of being a game and a half back of Memphis, we'd be 3.5 up. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. That's the difference. Like, we should not be below 500 right now. And
well,
did you see Stotts' comments post game? We had our chances. What about our defense? It wasn't like, oh, we just missed on our offensive chances.
Blockboy said he said down the stretch we didn't execute properly on both offense and defense or something. Okay. But it's like, down the stretch? What about the rest of the game on defense? Like, yeah. But
the thing is, what we were doing down the stretch defensively was like the same stuff we were doing the entire game.
Yeah.
So, and what didn't we like? We were switching and we weren't supposed to. Like, tell us more. You know what I mean? Like, that's when reporters need to say, okay, what specifically were they struggling with on the defensive end down the stretch? That's what I would have asked as a follow-up question, which would have been a phenomenal question. But nobody asks that type of stuff. Like, sometimes I wonder, like, dang, if I was a reporter asking questions, I feel like I'd be pretty good at it. Because I wouldn't, you have to phrase it where he's not going to get all offended and like, well, that whole attitude that he gets. You have to phrase it where, you'd be still being nice to him. So that's what I would have asked. Okay, what were the players struggling with defensively down the stretch, Terry? Tell me. I want to know. Ask the question, reporters, please. Like, you guys just like ask a question about, what about the defense down the stretch? Oh, they weren't executing. Okay, well, what do you think about Gary Trent Jr. and his play in the bubble? Like, that's how it goes.
Real quick, Kevin Reese said Dame responded to Paul George on that tweet.
Did he?
Yeah, you have to look it up. And Trevin, with the ultimate post there, he says if the Blazers had a better coach, there would only be 16 teams in the bubble right now, which is absolutely true. 16 teams, the Blazers would have been easily in the playoffs. Wow. Whoa. Nice, Dave.
That's funny. He did not hold back on that one. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what I was saying. Wow. What could he say to that, man? Keep switching teams, running from the grind. You boys is chumps. I love it. Pat Bev said Cancun on 3. Oh my god, man. That's funny. That's awesome. Good reply. Bunch of childish people over there. So,
Rip City, we showed it on the screen. We know. Dave replied, "We got you. We got you. You don't have to spell it."
It was literally on the screen 30 seconds ago, bro.
Must be behind a little bit. Yeah, they can go fight in the hotel. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Who was it? Kyle Lowry was telling Aaron Gordon what his room number was. Come meet me there or something.
Yeah.
uh,
So
see the see this is the problem. Paul George. That's why what he did was a bitch move because Kawhi's gonna lead him to at worst probably the Western
mm-hmm.
Conference Finals, and then Paul George is going to be talking all this crap to everyone about how he's like in the finals or possibly wins a ring and all this stuff. But you wouldn't do it if you didn't have your boy Kawhi there with you.
Yep.
You wouldn't be crap like they'd be a fringe playoff team without
Mm-hmm.
Kawhi.
Mm-hmm. And if they had the injuries the Blazers dealt with this year, because I mean the injuries did hurt, right? If you put Terry Stotts as head coach of that team and they have some of the injuries that the Blazers had this year, yeah, they're not making the playoffs. They're not as good as the Blazers have even been, right? Paul George has shown he can't really lead a team through adversity like that. Like he's proven that. So yeah, no, that's why I bet too. Is I'm not trying to hear something from a number two, man. You're a number two. Quit talking.
And Kawhi brought Toronto a championship, like Malcolm says. Paul George gave Oklahoma City 2 first-round exits in a row with another top player in the league, an MVP player with him in OKC. Dame hasn't even had close to an All-NBA team the last since Aldridge left, and he's still punked you more times than you punked him. So shut up, man.
Yep. So anyway, the thing is, the Clippers want them to be the 8 seed too, so I don't even know why they're talking like that.
Yeah. Mario Hezonja actually has a player option for next year, so he could pick that up and be a Blazer, and there's nothing that we could do about it unless we found some sucker team to trade him to. But yeah.
Well, all this Twitter and Instagram fingers has me inspired to fire off another tweet at Chad Dillon, so I'm gonna do so. I don't care. I don't care at this. Like I don't.
Say?
Well, Stotts doesn't build the roster. I don't even know what it's in response to. So I'm just saying, Chad, you're good at talking, but your basketball intellect needs to catch up with it, or something like that. I don't know. Yep. I'm not gonna send that. It's just stupid shit like that.
Yeah, Trevin, that was the exact point I was trying to make. He's talking because he knows he doesn't have to necessarily do anything to back it up. He knows he has guys that will propel him to that spot, even if he chokes. He doesn't have any pressure. Dame has all the pressure of leading a franchise on his back. Yeah.
Yep. Anyway, sorry, I'm firing off tweets here left and right. Yeah, that's I don't know. I should probably get off. I gotta drive down to the beach and yeah. Oh, I'm glad that I'm gonna drive down to the beach and then like relax for 5 hours.
Damien, we talked about it already on the stream. I don't know if you're a little behind.
Yeah. Dude. Getting a Twitter beef right now. Chad doesn't respond to me anymore. I would like I've already exposed him and like clowned him this season, and he doesn't want any part of it.
We got a game tomorrow, 3:30. We'll be back after that game with another post-game show. We better win tomorrow. That's all I'm going to say. Like, we have to beat the Sixers. And there's no excuses. We've got to win. We pretty much have to win out now. We still control our own destinies to get the 9th seed at least. With some helping get the 8th seed. But yeah, there's no excuse for not beating the Philadelphia 76ers without Ben Simmons. We are the better team. We have the better roster. Yeah, there's no way we should lose to a team that doesn't have one of their best players. But as you see today, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, I just don't want to hear a bunch of excuses if we lose tomorrow, because we're basically blowing our chances if we do. But yeah, still win out. It's fine. You have to win 2 games instead of 1 to get that 8th seed most likely. Not the end of the world, but it's going to be a lot harder than it would have been had we won this game today.
I saw somebody say PG would destroy Dame in a fight on Twitter. Oh, the clowns on Twitter, man. Anyway,
but yeah, PG.
we're not gonna fire Stotts if we miss the playoffs.
Yeah. PG seems like a guy who would like run away in a fight versus you go hide in the corner, get in the fetal position.
Watching Dame box, bro, that dude can throw hands. That dude can, that dude has a lot of power behind his punches, and he's grew up in Oakland, so you know that dude has fought, right? Paul George, man. Paul George is soft as hell. Like, I'd put down 200 if I was only going to get... I'd take 2-1 odds, or whatever it is. I'd put down $200 to win 100 on Dame. Like, Dame would be heavy favorite in that. Maybe they should box in the hotel, man. They should set up a ring there.
That's what I was going to say, yeah. They both have an off day coming up soon. Just have a boxing match.
Yeah.
But then Paul George's face would be all bloodied up for the playoffs.
Yep. There's so much stuff on Twitter that's just hard to ignore right now. But yeah, I mean, we will be live tomorrow with a post-game stream. Hopefully it's better. Sebastian has comments that aren't showing up, and I'm not going to show him because he's being immature, like always. I think he just probably woke up. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Sebastian, man. Should I just, like, permanently ban him? Should I permanently ban Sebastian chat?
No. I think he should just hide all his comments because then we get the viewership, but not.
Well, yeah, hide his comments. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
He probably won't come in here. I don't care about that one view. Yeah. All right, bye, Sebastian. You punk. He's not a good troll either, so it's not even fun.
Yeah.
So, anyway, yeah, I mean, we will see you guys tomorrow with the post-game stream tomorrow. Hopefully it'll be better than this one, because this game sucks.
Should be around 6 o'clock-ish, but the game starts at 3:30. It's weird it's only 2 o'clock. Got the whole day to go vent about it. At least we play tomorrow, so it's not like we have to wait 2 days for a game or anything, but...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So... Yeah, I mean...
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. And,
yeah.
It helps to talk out these things, like, yeah, yell a little bit into the camera. Yep.
Yeah. I still can't believe we lost this game, bro.
But yeah, we could have been talking about like how we didn't play well, but we still got the win. The offense was good in the first half. And then, yeah, it's 2 o'clock. Let's go enjoy the rest of the day and look forward to another win tomorrow, maybe passing Memphis. And instead, we're going to be like, oh, maybe we can beat them.
You just have to make it harder. You just have to make it harder, man. I was feeling a little bit better after the stream, and now I just feel like crap again. Because you got me imagining that. Dang, Eric.
Sorry.
You're fine. I'm just chasing you. I mean, I'm like half serious because
I know.
Because
it does help to nice. Come on. Like, I'm so glad we have these streams. I probably would have broke something if I wasn't like scrambling to get ready right after the game.
Yeah,
I was throwing a chair through my window or something. Like.
Oh yeah. Oh man, I abused the back of this chair with like good 4 or 5 punches before we went live. You know?
Yeah.
Just frustrating. It's just frustrating when it's the same shit. Different game, same stupid stuff that shouldn't be a problem, but is, you know. So, I mean, we'll always break it down. Even if it's the same stuff, you know.
Play the right players. Move the ball. and change up your defense a little bit. That's all. That's all it
Yep.
would take, and we wouldn't even, like Trevin said, we wouldn't even be worried about making the playoffs right now because we would have
Mm-hmm.
solidly been in the playoffs. We'd be talking about what seed we're going to
Yep.
get and who we're going to play in the first round. But like, no, we
And
can't.
and we
We
have
can't.
and we have proof that those things work too.
Yep. And it's not about injuries anymore. Like, I mean, people are still going to excuse the Ariza and Hood things, but we have guys who are playing great on the wing, and like Melo had a good game today. Trent had a good game. Like we have wings that are playing good. It's not that we're missing those guys. It's not injuries, and this is what we tried to tell you guys. All the people who are excusing everything that happened this year about just that we're injured. Yes, it sucked not having Dirk. Yes, it sucked when Hood went down. Yes, Collins getting hurt really screwed everything up, both with his development and not having like a big man other than Whiteside to kind of roam the paint or be our start, like slide in to a different position, whatever. But we could have overcome a lot of those things too. We've seen time and time again that if we play a certain way and
Mm-hmm.
mix up our defense like we do against Houston, like good things happen. Yet the next game will come out and not do that, or we'll do it in the first half of the game, and then the second half will go completely away from whatever worked in the first half.
Yeah.
And it's just so frustrating. And that's coaching. And I don't want to hear anyone use the injuries as an excuse for losing games. Yes, it sucked. Yes, it was a reason why we were not as good as we should have been this year, but there was no reason why we couldn't have been in the same boat as like Dallas and OKC are in right now, well ahead of Memphis and not even worrying about a playoff position right now.
Yep. Yep. There is 3 games that matter in between now and our next game tomorrow. Right later today, you got Phoenix against Miami. Go Heat for that one. Hopefully they don't rest guys. I don't think they will. I'm not entirely sure though. I don't know what their situation
I
is,
think the
but
Heat have four key players out. I think.
I mean that sucks. But they can play good, and just So I mean, go Heat. Hopefully the Heat win that game. Then tomorrow you got Grizzlies against Raptors, which the Raptors play good no matter who they play. They're kind of locked in, but I think the Raptors could definitely win that game. So we're rooting for the Raptors, and then the Pelicans play the Spurs. Which who knows? Like these games, who knows with them? But that's 3 games that if those 3 games go in our favor, we could be in a position going in tomorrow where if we win, we'd only be half a game back of Memphis, and we'd have a 2-win cushion over the Spurs and Suns over the final 2 games. You know what I mean? So we'd only have to win one of those games in order to at least make the play-in, right? So we could be in a position going into the game tomorrow where like we have a good chance. If everything breaks right, all right, let's try and end the stream optimistically. If everything breaks right with these games, we could be in a position where going into tomorrow's game, if we win, we could end up in a position where out of the final 2, we only have to gain one win on Memphis, and we would only have to win 1 win to at least make the play-in game. That would still be, considering obviously it would have been easier if we just won this damn game, but that could still be, that'd still be a decent position to be in going into the final 2 games. So could feel a little bit better later today if Phoenix loses. I can't believe we have to worry about the freaking Suns, but could be a better position if Phoenix loses later today. And the Spurs and the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies play the Raptors at 11 a.m. tomorrow Pacific time. The Spurs play the Pelicans at 12 p.m. And then we play at 3:30.
If the Pelicans beat the Spurs, though, they're only a half game behind us then. So I don't know who we want to win that game.
No, I didn't realize they were that close. Oh yeah, they are.
So
okay, yeah, shoot, that's right. I didn't realize that. I thought the Pelicans had an extra loss.
Instead of not having to worry about any of the Spurs, Pelicans, or Suns, and it not mattering at all, now we have to worry about all 3 of them, and 2 of them play each other, so one of them has to lose, thankfully. But yeah, who knows? It kind of depends on what they do their last 2 games, whether who.
We already have a 2-game cushion on New Orleans, right? I don't know if these standings are updated. We already have a 2-game cushion on New Orleans, a 2-win cushion. because they are a game behind us and we have the tiebreaker. Let's just pull up the standings here real quick. We have a 2-game cushion on New Orleans because they are.
But if they win, yeah.
Are they playing today?
No, they play the Spurs tomorrow.
Yeah, and that's game number 5 for them, right? Or is that game number 6 for them?
I think that's game 6.
Yeah, that'd be game 6. Yeah, so we have a 2-game cushion on them and Phoenix, actually. I thought we only had a 1-game cushion on Phoenix. Okay, we're in a better position than I thought. I thought we only had a 1-game cushion on Phoenix. So, honestly, like, if Phoenix loses today and we win tomorrow, Phoenix can't catch us. Could eliminate them. So I am rooting for New Orleans because we have a 2-win cushion on them. San Antonio, we only have a 1-win cushion on San Antonio. If that makes sense. So
yeah,
and San Antonio plays New Orleans tomorrow. So we could be in a position where if we win tomorrow and New Orleans beats San Antonio, we would have a 2-win cushion on everybody, guaranteed. If we win tomorrow, we wouldn't even have to worry about the Suns game because they're already 2 wins behind us. So even if they win today, if we win tomorrow and New Orleans beats San Antonio tomorrow, we would have a 2-win cushion on San Antonio going into the final 2 games. We'd have a 2-win cushion on New Orleans going into the final 2 games, and we'd have a 2 or a 3-win cushion on Phoenix going into the final 2 games. So really 2 games. 2 games.
But that's to get the 9th seed.
Yeah, which I really want that 8th seed. That's why today sucks so much, because we're probably going to end up in a position where we have to beat Memphis twice in a row, which we should be able to do, but also knowing this team, like, that's still a tough order to do, if that, so. Yeah. Would have been nicer to only have to win 1 out of 2 instead of 2 out of 2. I mean, but that's not the question if Memphis loses tomorrow against Toronto. And then if we win, we'd only have to gain 1 game on them out of the final 2. And we'd be playing Dallas and Brooklyn. You know what I mean? So, like, winning tomorrow is going to be huge, right? It would still be a very, like, this was an important game to win. But tomorrow, like, if we win that game, we should still be in a good position. So, yeah, I'm not going to really worry too much about this Phoenix game. I'm going to root against them, but it doesn't really matter too much. Yeah. If we win tomorrow, it doesn't matter too much because they are 2 games behind us. But it would be nice to not have to worry about them because if they lose today and we win tomorrow, they have no chance of catching us. If they lose today, honestly, I'll say this. If they lose today, they have no chance of catching us because we're not going to, knock on wood, of course, but like...
you just jinxed it.
But no, if we lose the last 3 games, we don't have to worry about Phoenix passing us because like San Antonio or another team will pass us. Like San Antonio will pass us if we lose the final 3 games, right? If Phoenix loses today, we'd have to lose the final 3 games for them to pass us. But in that scenario, like other teams would pass us too. So if Phoenix loses today, I say no reason to worry about them at all. Do you agree with that, Eric?
I mean,
sorry, I need to run over.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Chief, and if Memphis goes 0-3, we'd have to go 2-1 to get it. Mm-hmm. But once again, we're relying on them. Yeah.
Yeah, we're to get the 8th seed. We're gonna have to go 3-0.
We'd have to go 3-0. Yeah.
Because they're gonna get a win out of those final 3 games just based off a team resting guys. I feel like so. Yeah. We have to go 3-0. Which is possible. It's possible. We play good against Philadelphia, and they're without Ben Simmons. So this game tomorrow is a game that we should win. Yeah. So I'm rooting for Phoenix to lose. So if Phoenix loses today, don't have to worry about them anymore. You'd only have to worry about San Antonio and New Orleans, right? But you'd root for New Orleans to beat San Antonio because then if we win tomorrow, we'd have a 2-game cushion on both those teams. So, yeah, that's kind of where it is right now. I mean, even with this loss today, like if we won, we would be in like picture-perfect position. Like there would be no question we were in a play-in. This game, I think, would have clinched us being in a play-in. Like 100% clinched it.
Chief, and we answered your question. Bro, what the heck? I don't understand chat sometimes.
What did he ask? Oh,
You
yeah.
asked
We've
again
literally
if
been
Memphis
breaking
could
it
go
down.
0-3. We just talked about it.
We have to gain 2 wins on them over our final 3 games. Oh, I didn't mean to put the.
So
We,
whatever Memphis does, if they win 2 games, it's over. We can't get the 8th seed. If they win 1 game, we'd have to go 3-0. If they win no games, we'd have to go at least 2-1.
mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Yep. So, if they can lose tomorrow, we can win tomorrow. Then over the final 2, we would have gained one of those 2 wins. So then over the final 2 games, we'd only have to gain 1 win on them over the final 2. So rooting for Toronto tomorrow, rooting for Miami tonight, rooting for New Orleans against San Antonio tomorrow.
and the final little nail into my crappy day is that the Clippers somehow not only won this game, but they covered the 4-point spread that we talked about in chat last night. And both chat and myself lost our double down because the Blazers freaking crapped the bed and lost this game. So not only did we lose this game, but chat and I both lost our double down on top of that. So thank you so much, Blazers.
Honestly, I'm glad they didn't hit a 3 at the end. Like, if they're going to lose, they're going to lose. I'll take the picks against the spread win as a little consolation.
Well, CJ hit a 3 at the end, but it was like they ruled it not good or whatever. He pulled one of those wait till the buzzer to shoot it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just so frustrating. They not only blew this game but couldn't even cover the spread. Like, are you kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you saw, but by game time they were actually 4-point favorites. When last night when we did that, they were 4-point underdogs. So that's how much the line moved in just a few hours.
Yeah.
Obviously, most of that was Kawhi not playing, but yeah.
Gotcha. So that sucks.
Yep.
I mean, that's my consolation prize. That's why I don't double down on the Blazers, because then it sucks when they do stuff like this.
I know, but that should have been such a slam dunk.
I tried to save chat, and you insisted on letting them vote, and they voted for the Blazers. I was trying to save them, bro.
Well, the Nuggets are losing now too.
Well,
so
I mean, they're gonna come back. So.
Okay. All right.
Dame ratio PG-13 in the IG comments section. That's funny. Everybody go leave a like on Dame's reply. I'm gonna tweet this out. If Phoenix loses today, they need Portland to go 0-3 to pass them. I'll keep you guys up to date with like the standings position on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter at TorJones1T. Follow Eric at HoopsJock. And we're gonna sign off for now. I'm gonna tweet out this Phoenix tweet just so people really realize the situation going into the Suns game tonight. Sucks that the Blazers couldn't pull this out. Very rough loss to have there. Hopefully they can bounce back tomorrow and kind of right the ship. So anyway, I will catch you guys then. Stay up to date with me on Twitter. And until next time, as always, peace out.